You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Thursday the 12th of February, 2026. It is 53 days after the winter solstice. It is 36 days before the spring equinox. Today is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. The sun rises today at 6:53 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:10 p.m. The sun sets today at 5:27 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 5:55 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 6:27 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 27 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waning crescent phase and is 22% full at midday. The moon rises today at 3:53 a.m., and then it sets at 12:28 p.m. The new moon will arrive on Tuesday, the 17th of February. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the early morning, high tide, 5:50 a.m., 1 meter 13. Near midday, low tide, 12:15 p.m., 9 centimeters. In the evening, high tide, 6:27 p.m., 91 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, in the last few days, as the Arctic air has finally passed and a prolonged thaw has set in, not only are the heaps of snow melting, but the neighborhood is suddenly full of birdsong. Not just sparrows, who chattered freely through the cold, but all sorts of birds. Now it's still too early for the spring migration to be underway, so these will be the birds that have overwintered with us. Mockingbirds, robins, northern cardinals, black-capped chickadees, tufted titmice, and blue jays. It's only hearing these happy sounds again that one realizes how bereft of birdsong we've been for weeks. A chorus welcoming the coming spring. Commemorations. On this day in 1879, the first artificial ice rink in North America was constructed at Madison Square Garden. The indoor arena, which was the first to bear the name, opened just that year. The artificial ice surface was 6,000 square feet, about a third the size of a modern rink, but it made indoor ice sports possible. On this day in 1909, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People was founded. Happy birthday to the NAACP. Annals of Medicine. On this day in 1941, the first patient ever received an injection of penicillin. The antibiotic drug had been identified by Alexander Fleming and dubbed penicillin in 1928. On this day, a 43-year-old constable who had been injured in an air raid had developed life-threatening infections. Over the course of 4 days, he was injected with the new drug. He began to recover dramatically within the first 24 hours. Sadly, because of the very limited quantities of penicillin during the war, the injections were discontinued before he made a full recovery, and he unfortunately died about a month later. But the efficacy of the drug had been demonstrated. On this day in 1967, Radio Free Harlem made its first broadcast. It was a pirate operation, operating illegally on the 80-meter ham band. Radio Free Harlem transmitted popular music and tapes of religious services in black churches, and it sought to raise money for the Abyssinian Baptist Church, where Congressman and clergyman Adam Clayton Powell, Jr. was pastor. Because the broadcasts lasted only half an hour at a time, the FCC was foiled trying to track down the clandestine station. No one ever found the pirate broadcasters. Today we remember Peter Cooper, born this day in 1791. Cooper was a highly successful businessman and inventor who came from humble origins. With interests in gelatin, iron, and steel, as well as railroads and the telegraph, he became one of the richest men of his generation. Despite his great wealth, Peter Cooper lived quite simply, and devoted the last third of his life to philanthropy. He was active in abolitionism, and he championed the rights of Native Americans. But his greatest achievement was the establishment of the Cooper Union for the advancement of science and art. Offering a practical education, the Cooper Union was open to all who qualified, independent of their race, religion, sex, wealth, or social status, and it was tuition-free. Remember Peter Cooper today. In addition to this being Lincoln's birthday, it is also Darwin Day. It marks the birthday of Charles Darwin, who was in fact born the same year as Lincoln, 1809. Darwin Day celebrates the importance of science. And on Lincoln's birthday, we offer you this thought from old Abe. He once said, "America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves." Sobering words from one of our most thoughtful presidents. Alternate side of the street parking is suspended today in New York City for Lincoln's birthday. And that is the Observatory, Thursday the 12th of February, 2026.